there's an extra cognitive load, whether it's talked about or not talked about. And there's already so many things that us as parents have to think about, from getting to bed on time and eating and you know, being here or there, or making choices between different things. And so then to have another structural component added onto it, like cost, and be able to remove that completely, I think just it creates a safer space. You reduce the cognitive load, you reduce friction completely. It's like, okay, now we just got to think about what's the best thing to do, 100%. We don't have to think about any other incentives on that front at all. And it's very freeing. For sure, growing up, there were times I could not go do it because it was not in the finances. And we weren't going to ask for help. That was the last thing that we were going to do. And it translates down for sure, right? I mean, if it's on a parent's mind, it's on a kid's mind. Like, you can't not translate that down into the next level. And but when it's not there, it's also not down with the youth athlete. And so I think you end up removing that from both of them. But you get the same warm-ups, the same jersey, you're all at the same spot, you get the same opportunity as everybody else no matter what. It just makes it such a fantastic, like, level playing field. You get rid of the transaction that is so much a part of everything in our life, right? But you get a spot where we can actually remove that and make it better.
What YTF is doing for these kids, I just can't even, it like tugs at my heart, because I look back at like my childhood and like my mom not being able to afford me to do like club track. And then these kids have this opportunity to go to the armory and travel around and to have these really awesome opportunities to run and to have, to build these relationships. I mean, it is just, if you run them into the ground, not only will they physically break down, but mentally they will lose that passion, that love for the sport. And you see that so often because kids already put a lot of pressure on themselves. And then when they have that outside pressure from like parents or peers or coaches who are like trying to live out their dreams through these kids, it's really sad. And what I love is Justin, Tom, the coaches, they have nothing to prove for themselves. They're doing it for the love of the kids and for the kids to see what they can become. And I think that is why the kids are looking the way that they do right now, happy, excited, and healthy. It's huge. I didn't even have to think about it. I was like, yeah, I would love to be a part of Youth Track Foundation.
For Justin to put his heart of everything that he has built up and him wanting to truly give back by forming this team, I wholeheartedly believe in it. When Tom came on as a coach, I thought he's going to give that element that all these other kids were missing. You give him 10 seconds and he will take that child from feeling nervous and uptight to feeling confident and motivated. And Dan, he is the integrity standard. He's got a heart of gold. Everyone really brings something very unique to it.
All the coaches have special abilities that they have really poured their hearts into. And it's really built into this situation of working with the athletes in their other sports and becoming good runners, and then just involved in the indoor track season. And I really have enjoyed seeing that progress.
So what we're trying to do is trying to stay consistent and work into a rhythm. When you get into a really good race, you get into a really good rhythm, and they just go hand in hand. So what we're trying to do here is make you better athletes, make you more coordinated, make you work in the same way with your left side and your right side. All right, we're done. Let's grab some water and we can head upstairs and get started.
In the first practice, thought we might have 2 or 3 coaches. We ended up with about 6 coaches, all there to help with about 20 kids. You know, we had Pilates instructor, we had an ex-personal trainer, we got like great talent that just has come in and wanted to be a part of this. And that's, yeah, there's been so much stewardship as a part of this. From when they started doing it, there was a lot of explanation, there was a lot of clunkiness. It was, you know, challenged, brand new movements that people had never done before. And then now 6 weeks later, coaches looked at each other at one point and were like, there's not a lot for us to do right now. I'm like, I mean, they had it down. They're teaching each other. They're working with each other. It's the flow that they've been able to get into out there has been fantastic. So the progression in just 6 weeks, becoming second nature for them to do these exercises that are really impactful and about athleticism too, not just running.
I think at this point, a lot of the kids, it's like learning body awareness and like how like they're growing, and you know, and also like they're getting stronger, they're lifting some of these kids for the first time ever and doing some of the things that they've never done before, but seeing this confidence in them. That is what I love when I come to these practices and seeing these kids step onto the track or in the weight room, and they're not only like, some of these things aren't that fun, right? Like some of these exercises or some of these workouts are just like so grueling and not fun, and they're out here laughing, having fun, excited to challenge themselves, getting comfortable with being uncomfortable, and a lot of new things. It's been really cool to see.
The kids, you know, all had just such a great time together on that bus. You know, we showed up in Seattle, and we arrived at the hotel, and it was almost immediately time to go lights out for the kids so that they get up early. And they all did it without, I mean, we didn't even have to say anything. Like, we didn't even have a team meeting, hey, get to bed at 9:30. Like, they went to bed and they just shut it down. They knew what they had going on the next day. They all had and shared in a responsibility of doing the right thing for their teammates. They didn't want to let anybody else down by goofing off. That just shows a level of maturity and responsibility that the athletes have taken on for themselves. And I think that speaks volumes of the parents as well, that the parents have instilled this a discipline and a sense of community to your teammate as well.
You know, this winter period is unique in a sense that what we were hoping to do was to make it look totally different from their running experiences that they've had throughout the rest of the year, throughout their cross-country seasons, throughout their track seasons, throughout their summer training, to making them more of an athlete and not just a one-dimensional runner. Staying off the track for the most part, other than races. We're racing on the track, obviously, but staying away from the track so that when they do come back into track mode in the springtime, they're refreshed. Even though they're still running and they're going to be doing running work, it feels different. It's a different environment. So the goal is to go have these experiences and make it, and again, it's something they're not experiencing. None of them have ever stepped foot on an indoor track. Organically, races tend to become a stressful environment. It can be a stressful, emotional day for them, but they can also be a big growth opportunity for them.
The indoor track, it's kind of hard to breathe in there, so it was really helpful when they told us about that. It helped us do better in our race because we didn't know what to expect there.
One of my favorite parts from the meet was just like hanging out like before the race, because we would all do our hair together and then we would like get snacks, and it was just really fun. The meets were like pretty big. There's a lot of people from a lot of different places there.
They didn't hear the normal pre-race conversations that I think we tend to give. It was giving them permission to just go out and enjoy the opportunity. Don't get wrapped up in the results of their time, and the finish will come when you enjoy the process.